everybody to In the Pit, and we are live from the Diecast Supercon presented by Jada. And today I am interviewing Darryl from Jada. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So what is your position at Jada?
I am the brand director for our core vehicle business at Jada. So pretty much I am the liaison between product development and marketing, working with the development team to plan what their vehicle waves are going to be, what our next releases are going to be, providing some input into design, things like that. And then on the marketing side, a lot of the branding strategy, what our activations at events such as Diecast Supercon look like, and any future events and shows, excuse me, that we are participating in.
That sounds like a dream job because it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So you get to be part of the product development and like meet with the designers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. And then you get to do the whole other side of it where you tell the world.
Yeah.
How you do it.
Yeah. So it's really from beginning to end for me, right? Just kind of the middle person that really conceptualizes as far as what the development team goes, picking the ideal castings and the right looks for the vehicle, and then crafting the strategy outwardly and communicating that to the world in terms of what the rollout strategy looks like.
Well, that sounds, honestly, it does sound really exciting. I think it would be a dream job for me. How long have you been doing that for?
So I have been, this is my second stint with Jada, actually.
Okay.
It has been officially a little over a year. Okay. Prior to that, I had a small break, but I was there for 8 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's obviously a company that you had to come back to because
it made perfect sense.
Yeah. So I hear, before we get into some of the products, I hear you're a car guy as well.
Big, huge.
And I'm a huge enthusiast as well, and I'll talk about a little bit about what I'm into, but I want to know what you're into.
I ride and die with JDM. That is the preference for me. It's what I'm most familiar with. It's what I have the most fun with. But I will say also, I love all kinds of genres of vehicles. There's something in me that has this itch for domestic muscle cars and things like that.
Yep.
Hope to have one for my own one day soon. So.
Okay, so what would your favorite casting or real JDM car be?
I'm a big GTR guy. Matter of fact, I have one myself, so
okay.
I gotta go with the GTR.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, have you? So is your GTR customized? Is there anything?
Heavily.
It is.
Yeah.
Have you tried to put that into production?
We're actually working on a new project with Liberty Walk. That's going to be a collaboration project there, as well as our partners at Universal with Fast and Furious.
Okay.
So a little bit of a teaser there as far as what's coming down the pipeline. So, yeah.
Okay, well, it's exciting about that movie franchise, Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
It's got muscle and it's got JDM.
It's got everything. Yeah, it's got everything. It's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So you brought some exciting pieces here.
I did.
And you guys have a booth, and you guys have a bunch of stuff you're showcasing. I saw some kind of pre-sale stuff.
Yeah.
Some new series that I didn't even know about. And we're in Canada, so sometimes we don't get to see everything. You guys got to put that in there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the pink slips.
Sure.
That's a new line that came out
last year, actually, a little over a year ago. This one is very interesting in the sense that it's we really view it internally as an evergreen kind of brand. Mm-hmm. So within our core properties that we have as a company, we have lines such as Big Time Muscle, we have lines like Just Trucks, and the brand names for those are pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
Everything muscle car related lives in Big Time Muscle, everything truck related is in Just Trucks. Pink Slips has the ability to house any vehicle that you can think of. So your classic muscle cars, your modern muscle cars, your exotics, your JDM, everything. And what's unique about Pink Slips is that the team is really focusing on paint execution, in particular with this. So things like metallic, candy, iridescent, gradients,
carbon fiber.
Actually, some sort of carbon fiber as well. And the other thing with this is that unlike our other 24 scale vehicles is that it actually comes with a display base.
Okay.
So a little bit more collectible. Yeah.
And obviously the name
pink slips.
Yeah.
Kind of self-explanatory, right? Yeah.
Racing, and I don't think I'd ever do it because I love my cars a little bit too much. But
well, it can be a multitude of things, right? It can it can have that racing element, or it can be, you know, the title or deed to the car, or it can be the theme for, you know, the colorways for the vehicles. So it's pretty broad and extensive.
I always just think of you know, racing pink slips. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's funny enough. That's kind of how it all started.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome. I think it's a really cool concept and something that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool play on everybody that's in the car scene.
Yeah, and what's really unique about this too, twofold. One is, you know, when you go into a retail store and you're walking down the vehicle aisle and you're shopping for something, whether you know exactly what you're looking for, or maybe you're just kind of perusing around. The packaging concept for pink slips is unique in the sense that it really just stands out, right? Everything on shelf right now is like white or, you know, blue, and then all of a sudden you kind of get hit with this black and pink, and it's just like very bold, right?
And the base almost has like the carbon fiber look, right?
Exactly.
And that pink. And I like how the name is sort of engraved into it.
Yeah. So it's very eye-catching in that sense from a packaging execution standpoint, but to your point also from the car culture side of things, you know, we really are trying to align this brand with things that are trending within the automotive scene. So any sort of like race-inspired looks or liveries, or, you know, just more outlandish paint schemes, that fits perfectly within this brand, and that's what we try to capture.
Yeah, I think it's a unique market, and what you guys have done is that it's really cool. You're right. I mean, you have to look at it.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
If you don't buy it, you're going to look at it.
Yeah.
And then you also have the 1/64th scale, which also has some kind of neat packaging, a bit different.
Yeah, something with the 1/64 scale that we will be introducing shortly, and then to make it a little bit more desirable and collectible, is that we're going to be offering the 64 scales in a collectible tin box. So you will get, it'll come standard in the 64 scale packaging, how we normally do, but you will have the 64 scale vehicle represented outside and the collectible tin box with the artwork of the vehicle on the packaging itself.
Oh, that's so rad.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I like that. See, I like these kind of little extra touches that the diecast companies do, because the actual collector really will appreciate that.
And that's something that we try to lean in towards, you know, with a lot of the product that we do is part of the challenge is kind of blurring that line of, you know, the general person that may not be as knowledgeable or hardcore about collecting, and also appealing to the car enthusiasts that might have much higher standards in terms of execution of what, you know, what the vehicle look like. And maybe the third extension of that is the actual diecast collector themselves, right? When they go for the hunt and they're looking for specific things that kind of draw their eye to it. So we try to feed into as much of that as we can.
I wanted to talk about the Challenger on the back, because I have seen that wrap live in the flesh, and that is really cool, because it kind of lends to the fact that, you know, you could actually see these cars on the road.
Yeah.
You know, enthusiast-inspired paint schemes.
Yeah,
right? It's really cool.
So funny enough that you mentioned that. Pink Slips was also very unique for us as a company, because it represented the first time that we actually collaborated with an influencer.
Okay, I didn't want to say if it was a real car or not.
So it was based off a real car.
Okay.
This one in particular that you just saw in the cross-sell is slightly different in terms of the wheels and the design execution, but the pink fade to the blue was actually based off a real car. Her name is Angelina.
Okay.
So she was our first. She was our first influencer that we collaborated with, and she kind of helped kick the brand off with her car. And that was a great success, you know, so we obviously want to continue that theme. And so we've signed another influencer, content creator, I should say, to work with for the upcoming year. So her name is Autumn. She drives a Camaro ZL1 1LE. So we have some pretty neat things planned in the works for that.
That is exciting. Well, you know, if you ever need someone with a Super B or an SRT40.
Oh, there you go.
I'm your girl.
All right, love to see some like reference photos and things like that. We can get something going.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's actually a casting, well, at least the Dodge Neon.
Okay.
SRT4 is a casting you don't usually see.
Yeah.
And I always think that car was so cool because it's kind of a cross between like the tuners
Yeah.
and the muscle cars.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the best of both
Kind
worlds.
of blurs the line a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, I got you. All right.
Yeah, well, that's really cool. I'm glad to see a lot of the companies now start sort of crossing that line.